Which would you rather have? A home-cooked meal or a fast food burger? The home-cooked meal is better for you and shows that someone took a lot of care in preparing it. The fast food burger, though, means you get what you want right now. This is a lot like making this decision. Do we save up for something, or do we put it on our credit card? Saving up for a purchase means you have to do some planning, just like planning to cook a big family feast on Sunday. You have to think ahead about everything you'll need and put in the work. This really pays off. Your whole family will enjoy it, and you've made a healthy choice that is less expensive and higher quality than fast food. But what about if it's late at night and you're really hungry right now? Or you don't have the money on hand to buy all the ingredients for that home-cooked feast, or the time it takes to prepare it. Sometimes it makes sense to buy a fast food meal, just like sometimes it makes sense to use your credit card. Credit cards are so familiar, people use them every day without actually understanding what it means to have credit or use credit responsibly. While credit cards are widely used as a convenient payment method, it's important to step back and make sure you know what you're getting into. Do you know the pros and cons of using credit instead of debit or cash, for instance? When does it make sense to pull the trigger and buy something today instead of saving up? Let's explore these details to equip you with the knowledge needed to make the smart choices for your financial life. Think of a credit card as a way to spend money that you don't have on hand at the moment. How much money are we talking about here? Your credit limit is the maximum amount you can borrow. This limit is determined by several things. How much money do you make? How good are you with money in general? Essentially, a credit card is a loan in disguise. You're borrowing money from the credit card company, and they want to make sure you're good for it. This can be incredibly helpful in situations where you need something immediately, but it also means you're taking on debt. You have to be responsible with this debt, or it could get you into serious financial trouble. Before you even consider using a credit card, let's make sure you understand the risks that come with being able to borrow money so freely. Here's the first drawback that affects virtually everyone who uses credit cards. Credit comes with interest. Interest is the extra money you have to pay back on top of what you borrowed from the credit card company in the first place. It really comes down to spending money you don't have. When you charge something on your credit card and you can't pay the whole amount when the bill comes, you immediately start paying interest on the balance. And that's not cheap. To compare different credit cards, the number you want to look out for here is called APR, or annual percentage rate. Expect this to be quite high, often exceeding 20%. In another lesson, we will work through some examples of how interest charges quickly accumulate. Getting into debt is another risk inherent to credit card use. It's easy to overspend when using a credit card. When you swipe that card, it just doesn't feel the same as spending cash, does it? This can lead to a cycle of debt that's hard to break. You treat yourself to a purchase you can't quite afford, and you feel a brief rush of happiness, but it doesn't last. The psychological aspect of spending on credit, where purchases don't feel as significant in the moment, and the pleasure is fleeting, can contribute to this issue. But knowledge is power. If you stay mindful of these tendencies, it can help you avoid falling into the trap of credit card debt. Creating a budget and sticking to it is another way to keep yourself grounded in reality. Fees and penalties can also add up quickly with credit cards. There are several common ones you'll need to watch out for: annual fees, late payment fees, and over-limit fees. These can significantly increase the cost of using a credit card if you're not careful. An annual fee is what you pay just for the privilege of having the card. Late payment fees hit you if you miss a payment deadline, and they can be steep. Over-limit fees occur if you spend more than your credit limit allows. It's crucial to be aware of these costs and factor them into your decision-making. These penalties and fees should be explained in the terms and conditions of your credit card agreement. This is a document you should read carefully so you're not caught off guard by unexpected charges. It's not all doom and gloom. Credit cards do have some benefits. One of the most significant advantages is the ability to build your credit history. It's like a good financial reputation, and it means people are more willing to do business with you. A good credit history can unlock better interest rates on loans and mortgages, and even impact rental applications and job prospects. For example, using your credit card responsibly by paying off your balance in full each month can significantly boost your credit score. Building a strong credit history takes time and discipline, and using your credit card wisely is a well-established way to go about it. Credit cards are convenient. Pretty much everyone accepts credit cards nowadays. This means you don't have to walk around with wads of cash in your pockets. Additionally, most credit cards come with fraud protection. If your card is used fraudulently, you can dispute the charges. This level of protection is often superior to that offered by debit cards, which can make credit cards a safer option for many purchases. As an added measure of caution, you should still review your statements every month and keep an eye out for transactions you don't recognize. Keep in mind, the flip side of all this protection is loss of privacy. When you use your credit card, that transaction is tied to your identity, and in the case of a security breach, that info is out there. In a future lesson, we'll discuss issues of financial security and risk in more detail. Please subscribe. Credit cards often come with enticing rewards. These can be in the form of cash back on everyday purchases, or sometimes they use a point system. To maximize these benefits, it's essential to use your credit card strategically. For instance, you could pay your regular bills with the card and immediately pay off the balance, avoiding interest while still reaping the rewards. Over time, these strategies can pay off. But watch out. The obsessive pursuit of rewards can lead to overspending or accumulating debt. In emergencies, having a credit card can be a financial lifesaver. It provides immediate access to funds when you need them most, such as for unexpected medical expenses or urgent repairs. Compared to other emergency funding options like payday loans, credit cards typically offer lower interest rates and more manageable repayment terms. But not everything is an emergency, and if you overuse this option, you will go into debt. Remember, while credit cards can provide short-term relief, they are not a substitute for an emergency fund. We've discussed why credit cards can make sense for you in certain situations, but look around. Everywhere you see enticements to sign up for cards or make charges at businesses. What's in it for them? Stores and restaurants accept credit cards because you're more likely to spend more than if you used cash for everything. Sure, we'll split an appetizer, and let's treat ourselves and get dessert too. No big deal, I just sign on the dotted line. There is a downside that really hits small mom-and-pop businesses, though. The credit card companies take a percentage of every sale. Larger businesses can just add these costs into the price of everything. Big box stores even offer their own credit cards. Have they tried to get you to sign up for one yet? Banks and other companies that issue credit cards want you using them as much as possible because they profit from credit card interest and fees. They make tens of billions of dollars every year on this alone. You need to understand their motivation so their ads don't cloud your judgment. If it sounds too good to be true, that's because it is. Because it's so profitable for them, credit card companies use various marketing strategies to attract customers, such as sign-up bonuses and introductory 0% APR periods. While these offers can be tempting, it's crucial to read the fine print and understand the long-term implications. For example, a 0% APR period might help you avoid interest initially, but if you don't pay off the balance before the promotional period ends, you could be hit with substantial interest charges. And while a sign-up bonus might seem attractive, the interest and fees you're likely to rack up wipe out any initial savings. Not to mention, by having more credit, you might be tempted to spend more money that you don't have. Stay focused on your own needs, not the messaging from the credit card companies. This will help you use credit cards in a way that benefits you without falling into their profit traps. Are you convinced a credit card is right for you? Then it's time to send in your application. But which card is the right one for your needs? Some offer cash back on purchases, others give you travel rewards, and some are designed for building or rebuilding credit. What's the APR, and is there an annual fee? Take the time to research and compare different cards before you decide. The application form will ask for your personal information, including your income and social security number. Be warned, they might also perform what's known as a hard credit check on your credit report, which can temporarily lower your credit score. The credit card company will use this info to predict whether you'll actually repay the money you borrow. It's essential to meet certain criteria to be approved for a credit card. Companies will look at factors like your credit history and credit score. If you have a good credit score, you're more likely to be approved and may even get better terms, such as a higher credit limit or a lower interest rate. If you're not approved, you might need to start with something called a secured credit card. This is a way to build your credit if you really don't have any. A secured credit card requires a cash deposit as collateral, which sets your credit limit. So why would you do this instead of just using a debit card? Because there is a downside to using a secured card. Like other credit cards, you pay fees and interest. The unique upside is it offers a way to improve your credit score over time. Your debit card doesn't really affect your credit. By using a secured card responsibly, such as by making timely payments, you can build or rebuild your credit. Alright, so now you've got a credit card. Let's go over what the experience is like, and try to be smart about it. Every month, you'll receive a billing statement that lists all your transactions, the total amount owed, and the minimum payment required. Here's the kicker. Paying only the minimum amount will definitely lead to high interest charges on the remaining balance. This isn't a maybe, it's a certainty. Credit card companies love when you pay the minimum because it means you'll rack up interest, making them more money. Even more tempting, some companies offer a grace period to make paying the minimum amount seem more attractive. On our website, Socratica.com, you'll find an exercise we've created so you can see how to do this calculation yourself. When you make the minimum payment on your bill, how much does your purchase wind up costing you? Find the link below. Back to life with your credit card. The billing cycle is typically 30 days, which means a new bill comes due every month. To use your credit card responsibly, aim to pay off the full balance each month to avoid interest charges. It helps to track your spending throughout the month to make sure you're not blowing through your budget or your credit limit. Set up reminders or automatic payments to avoid missing due dates. If you can't pay off the full balance, try to pay more than the minimum to reduce interest charges and avoid falling into that debt trap. Remember, the banks want to take all your money. Don't give them the pleasure. Understanding the pros and cons of credit cards is crucial to becoming good with money. Credit cards offer flexibility, rewards, and convenience, but require discipline to avoid debt. By being informed and strategic, You can leverage credit cards to enhance your financial well-being while minimizing risks. Use them wisely, pay off balances in full, and always be mindful of your spending. That's smart money. Just one more thing. If you want to #learn more about $finance, you can find extras on our website, Socratica.com. Quizzes, bonus materials, other helpful things.